Hey, it's April 2nd, 2019, and just been having somewhat of a grindy month, and but doing good. Just feeling really sensitive though, and a lot of things make sense now too, like it didn't before, and got a good lesson in communication and in being locked in polarity and being defensive and um, closing off, like, and wanting to be right, and like the ego's agenda is coming up, and projections, and just weird, weird stuff that like obviously was meant to trigger, and it's good. It's good, like it's good to be provoked sometimes to get those things to come up to the surface and to become aware of them, and yeah, to just own them, and be mindful, and yeah, forgiving and allowing, and accountable. And like really a lot of this too feels like I've claimed, like recently, that I am going to use my voice and use my word with integrity and with impeccability. And like there's just these little things that are going to come up, and like little quizzes and little tests, or just little challenges, like little opportunities to see if I can walk my walk and talk my talk and honor my word, and be willing to see and own like my bullshit, and my agendas, and my tactics, or my behavior, or my all of it. Um, yeah. And sometimes, I can see that I have had a little bit of a pattern of passive aggressiveness, because I think, sometimes that's what we're taught as girls. I don't know. Like, just to undermine and, yeah. Just want to see a little bit more into that. But, it's like so funny what happens. It is really so funny in a way, but like it's really got me riled up, and it really made me angry, and it made me like just really irritated and frustrated, and just feelings of self-righteousness coming up, and like really a need to make the other wrong, and be right, and just tear apart like everything the other did, and then justify my own actions. But like, just seeing like where I was triggered, and even in the moment when I was writing, I knew I was triggered, but I just allowed myself to be where I was, and to breathe, and then like I did consider what I was going to say too, and I did my best to focus on the topic, and to keep it civil too, and to be kind, and to like not like take it personally, but at the same time it was like really frustrating, because it was like all of these arguments dumped all over the place, and just kind of arrogant assumptions too that I didn't like, that I've heard all of them before, like with the, and this is about vaccines, yes, of course, it's going to be about something like that. But, to, lost my train of thought. But so it was about vaccines. The pro-vaxxer arguments, or the state's narrative, or the official word, the official story. The propaganda of the pharmaceutical companies, and I guess you could call it the deep state, but that's all new kind of lingo, I guess. with like the truther movement and stuff. This is interesting. Anyways, it was like really tired and old, and I didn't want to like argue and like debate every single one of the ridiculous things he pulled out of his hat. And just kind of was like, he just wants to argue. And I knew that from the beginning. But I thought, hey, maybe it could be an interesting discussion. And like maybe like this post will circulate because it's an important post. It's about informed consent. And informed consent, if we don't have that, like what do we have? You know, like that is like an inherent right. It's the right to your body and the right to be free from bodily harm and sovereignty. So that's my jam right there. That all beings have the choice, and where there is a risk, there must be a choice. And especially that they're trying to shove all of these ridiculous vaccines down our throats and down our children's throats, and mandate vaccines for everyone. That's like a little bit ridiculous and disturbing. And like, especially since there's been so much controversy about it, and it's just being censored everywhere. And they're trying to silence people, and their propaganda machine has worked pretty well. And the indoctrination of it, like, since like the polio vaccines and all of that, like, and people think that it's such like a miracle, but it's really not. But it's like weaponized science and false science, and it's a travesty is what it is. And so of course, people who believe in them still, or believe in the system and believe in like our Western medicine that we're practicing. Allopathic medicine, yay, hooray, we've had like some amazing things happen with that. But like, since it's owned by big pharma, it's like it's run by special interests, and it's not for our benefit. It's not in our interests to go along with these programs. So of course it's gonna it's a very polarized issue, and you can't hold it against people for not knowing or for not being informed, and for it's been a good little like illusion. They've done really good at magicking making vaccines look like magic. So I guess people don't want to like see that they're wrong either, that they've done harm, or that they've encouraged harm, or that like what was seen as altruism was actually like diabolical scheme to kill and maim people and for sterilize people and all that. So it does bring up like a lot of anger, and like we're just wanting to rebel against like anything that sounds like they're fucking vile, and just like totally like feeling right and wanting to be right, but like not wanting to really get into it, like, because I didn't care that much really about what he thought, because I knew he wasn't going to be open to anything anyways. And then he was just kind of really snide, like, and I don't know if he even like saw like what he was doing at all, or if that's just how he is. But I think in some way he felt like, it feeds his superiority complex, or maybe his inferiority complex that he has. And seriously, too, it was like, it didn't really feel all that good. It was like, he just wanted to be a master debater, and that's what he was. And didn't really... he was just dismissive, and I felt he was really abrasive, and I felt he was very pushy. But maybe he just, like, was genuinely thinking that he was asking for me to prove something to him, but I had no interest in proving anything to him. I just brought up a couple of points, and he went back and forth and was just really dismissive again, and I just told him I don't like I don't really enjoy the back and forth of the one-upmanship. if you want to learn more, great. I'll be happy to share links with you and stuff. And but he just kept going, and just kept getting like a little more ridiculous and a little more extreme. Like not really like insulting me or anything, but like kind of gaslighting me in certain ways, and um, yeah, just jabbing me without jabbing me, like jabbing the stance he thought that I had, and assuming too that I don't believe in science and what the steps of science. Like, yeah, when it's not about that, it's that science is being manipulated, and of course, yeah, he didn't want to see that either. He wanted to argue about every single thing that was brought up, and so he'd be the winner, like, really. And that's how I felt, and I just thought it was super, yeah, like obvious, you know, to me that, yeah, like that's what he was doing. He was playing a game of who's right and who's most clever and who's wrong and ill-informed. But so yeah, at the end, I made a little jab of, oh, good sir of the keyboard warrior clan, go upon your way, and fare thee well in your next battle. And just my last points about, because yeah, I just thought he was an asshole, like really, before he was like a real asshole. And that like triggered, I feel like that, yeah, like that little jab of the keyboard warrior, that really bothered him, because maybe someone, other people have like gave him the same jabs, and like it kind of stings, and yeah, I don't know. um yeah, anyways, this is kind of funny how we triggered each other in certain ways, and yeah, I don't even know if it was intentional, but it was like very dominating kind of a thing, like where, but maybe I know he's highly opinionated too, and yeah, that he just has that attitude where he's so convinced of himself, but like I don't know, but yeah, I think he's just full of shit too, and part of him knows that, I think. But like that's why he tries extra hard to, I guess, prove stuff to others. And so, yeah, it just bothered me so much though, but it was good to see, because um yeah, I do want to have intelligent, thoughtful exchanges with people, but I don't like putting energy into just who's right and who's wrong. Like seriously, I tried like my best to like counter with my information that I had without making him wrong. It seemed like with his um, replies and stuff, he would just tear down everything I had to say with a lot of his own. This is this is the right way, and this is how it is, and blah 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 blah. And like, so okay, that's fine, but like it was very pushy, and like I don't know, it was arrogant too, because he made a lot of assumptions, and maybe I did too. Maybe I made some assumptions as well. But like I think some of my instinct was correct with certain things, and like I don't really like this guy as a person anyways. Like I don't really like care for him. I don't care for his personality, but I have been really nice to him because he knows the family, and yeah, and they have relationship and all of that. So, and I see him like a couple times a month, like, yeah, or at least maybe once a month at class. So, oh, so it was like, yeah, I can tolerate, and like he's pleasant enough in class, and like when I've seen him, he's easy enough to chat. But yeah, I think he does have maybe some emotional immaturity, or I don't know, because he doesn't pick up on subtle clues sometimes, and but maybe he's just in his head a lot as well. Yeah, with his own things, his own bubble. And so yeah, I don't think that he got like the subtle clues that I was leaving. about like different things. And then finally, like, he kept going at it, and I was just really frustrated. And so, yeah, that's the last little thing that I said. And I tried to make it light. That's really what it was about. I was doing my best to make it light. And I thought maybe, I mean, and it felt really good to say too, okay, good serve the keyboard warrior clan. Go upon your way and fare thee well. And it wasn't meant to be like hostile or anything. It was just silly. And I feel like, yeah, like part of it was me being snide, but part of it was authentic because of all like the things that he chose to do while he was engaging with me on my page. And like, it's like you have etiquette on people. Like, if you consider them your friends, you're not, yeah, going to try to make them wrong or force them to do it your way or force like certain things on them. I don't know, like, that's just, I don't know, socially, maybe he's just socially stunted or emotionally stunted or something. But like, yeah, he missed a lot of things. And yeah, and so sometimes gotta be a little more strong in my approach, like a little more direct. And so I'm learning how to do that. And two, I didn't want to like make him feel bad or anything, but like I wanted him to know like how I felt, like what his approach was. And his intentions might have been different, but like his real agenda was to make me wrong and to seem smart and to show everyone how intelligent he was and how right he was and how clever he was. And also, like, the thing that really bugs me and, yeah, bothers me and disturbs me is that after, like, I made, that comment in my last little kind of closing, like, okay, I'm done with this now, sort of thing. Yeah, it was like, I can't force you to be right because it's about forcing medical treatments and medical procedures on people. And you're free to disagree with me. I can't force you to be right. Haha, thanks for playing. And yeah, because I didn't really like eat up any of his garbage, and I told him that, he for not swallowing anything because he said he wasn't swallowing the official narrative. I told him to go do his research, and he said, "Nope, I'm not going to, and I'm going to go on my own way, swallowing nothing." And so I said, for not swallowing any of the official narrative, you sure did regurgitate a lot, and like that really upset him too. But yeah, he wasn't seen or received or believed about any of his points and his meaningful contribution to the post that he really enjoyed, and he didn't see, like, yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know why he got enjoyment out of it, but like, it was because it was an opportunity for him to assert his self-importance. That's what my theory is, and my feelings, and maybe my projection is. And I'll own my own self-importance too. And it's just like, I told him so, yeah, after the last couple of comments. When he made it about him too, like, he totally took this, like, thing personally, like my last statements, and, like, just wouldn't let it go. He left, like, 3 or 4 comments after that, like, that were long and, like, irrelevant. Some of it was irrelevant, trying to defend his position and his image. And like also threw in the fact that I fuck good too. And I was like, wow. It's kind of like, just, wow. Like, why is that even like relevant to this topic? And why did you have to pull that out of your hat? And like, I don't know if you felt threatened. Like, maybe that was like a complex taking over, like where he had to defend, like, yeah, those parts about him. Projecting like maybe some old lover onto me or some, yeah, I don't know. But that was like, it didn't feel good. It felt really hostile. And then he talked about like masturbation like a couple times in different, in different ways. And so I finally got back on, and he said, go swallow some fucking ice cream. And yeah, that was annoying too because like in the sexual context it was like kind of yeah, like covert. And I felt like, yeah, he was telling me that I was, yeah, like a bad person. And, like, and so then I just was like, okay, fuck this. And I was going to tell you how I really feel, and I'm not being nice anymore. And yeah, I just told him, please get over yourself. Seriously, please get over yourself. This isn't about you. This is my post about informed consent. And you didn't want to come here to have an exchange with me. You came here to play a game and argue. And yeah. And so that was like, yeah, I had to say some things about how it was frustrating for me. I mean, because, yeah, it was enjoyable for him, but it wasn't for me. Like, and I chose to engage, and I told him that. And I just didn't enjoy it, but it taught me a lot. So I thanked him for like those lessons in communication and what I can consent to and refuse. And like pretty much said, okay, check the box you're playing in. Because, yeah, he was pretty much like projecting a lot of his stuff, his shadow stuff of me. And yeah, it's good for me to see too, like my stuff that I get to receive. And like, but it's just been kind of a roller coaster ride the last couple days, like kind of going through all of it and like feeling all those feelings of like self-righteousness and wanting to make him wrong. And yeah, like kind of going through like little stories, but like knowing too at the time, like listening to the story just so it can show me like what it is that I'm defending, or what I can let go of, or what I can reclaim, or what I can choose for myself. And so it's been really good that way. But it's been really funny, and it helps to laugh about it too, and lighten it up. Because it was really silly, but like, yeah, it did trigger some deep things. So it's a potent opportunity. And yeah, so I'll just get to work with it. And my phone's gonna die, so we'll just sign off now. So I'm gonna focus on love and possibilities and all the beauty around me and everything that is a gift for me. And so thank you, and I'll just be love from you.